Today, Kevin and I are going to be trying 5 meat sauces from Prego. Well, 4 are meat sauces and 1 is an Italian sauce. So we have the Italian sauce flavored with meat, but then we have the new Bolognese, we have the Mini-Meatball, the sweet sausage and roasted peppers, and the Italian sausage and garlic. And I'll quickly go through and give you prices. The first 2 were $2 each at Meijer. The Mini-Meatball was $3.35 at Jungle Jim's International Market, and we could not find this anywhere that we shop in our area, so we had to get it at Jungle Jim's. And then the next 2 were $2.49 at Meijer. So I believe these were bought at a different Meijer than this Meijer. But what we're going to do is, you see these bowls out front. Of course, you normally would add this to pasta or something like that, and we will end up doing that. But for the review, we don't want to mix it with anything. We want to taste just the flavor of the sauce itself and not add it to anything. So what we will do is we will pour a little in these bowls and heat them up, and then we'll give them a try. So this is the meat sauce, and it is supposed to have meat crumbles in it. So that's how that looks. And then we have the bowl. That one, I think that one has meat crumbles. I think the Bolognese has meat crumbles as well.
Thicker.
Maybe the Bolognese had meat crumbles, but that one didn't. I'll have to look at the
that one says it's flavored with meat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at the ingredients. This is the Mini-Meatball. I did get a Mini-Meatball. I know there's one right there. This is the sweet sausage and roasted peppers. Ooh, this one looks darker. Yeah, look how red that is. It looks really nice. These all smell.
I was going to say the smells almost overwhelming.
It smells wonderful. And then this one is the garlic. So we're going to heat these up, like I said, and then we'll be back. So we're first going to try the meat one, and it says flavored with meat, 5 servings in the container, half a cup, 120 milliliters is 70 calories. And this is made with, I couldn't remember which one was made with the beef crumbles. That's the Bolognese. The meat one is made with beef stock.
So it literally says flavored with meat. That's what it means.
Yes, it's dried beef stock, but it says, I looked on their website, and it says, versatile and delicious, this red sauce features the rich sweet taste of vine-ripened tomatoes balanced with flavorful meat, herbs, and seasonings. So that's all.
It's a very smooth sauce. There's no anything in there.
Okay, so it does have tomato puree is the first ingredient. Then it has spices, dried onions, dried garlic, basil, dried beef stock, beef extract, beef fat, and garlic extract.
Beef extract. When we're sitting there eating it like this, it's almost like we're eating a tomato soup.
You know, you could eat this like a soup.
You could that one for sure.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. It has really nice spices to it. Very sweet though. So
you know, if we're just here, if we're just thinking this, somebody out there watching this video has been like, I've eaten that out of a bowl with a spoon.
No.
And
it's probably a lot more expensive though.
It probably is, but you know, I've done that with spaghetti to where I've had a big plate of spaghetti and I had a lot more sauce than I had spaghetti, and so at the end you're like, that is so good that you do finish up the sauce, or I do.
But if you got bread, you go in there.
You sop it up. Yeah. So
soak it up with the bread.
Yes.
I like the flavors of that. It's like I said, it's a little on the sweet side, but it is very nice sauce.
I love when you get a tomato. A random hunk of tomato.
Yeah. There's not a lot of it. That's overall a very smooth sauce. Mm-hmm. There is little pieces of tomato here and there, but no actual meat pieces.
I do not specifically taste meat.
No.
I would not know that it was meat.
No, but it probably changed the flavor if you were to have it without all that.
It probably would. But I just, I do not taste the meat. To me, it just tastes like tomato sauce with some onion.
Yeah, I agree. And some seasonings.
Okay. Spices. So now we're going to try the Bolognese. These are probably, no, I was going to say they're probably about the same calories. They're not. The meat was 70 calories. This one is 90.
Yeah, this is thicker.
But, well, this is the one that's made with the seasoned tomato puree, seasoned cooked beef and pork crumble, seasoned beef crumble.
It's a lot different.
Is it a lot different?
No.
Dried onions, olive oil. There's all kinds of other stuff in here. I'm just hitting the high notes. Basil, dried concentrated beef stock again, onion juice, beef extract, and then it says beef talon.
So it's basically a tomato sauce. They put pieces of ground beef.
Oh, that's beef right there.
Yeah, it's chunky. I'm guessing when we get to it, we'll know. I'm guessing this is very similar to the Mini-Meatball, except the Mini-Meatball, instead of having it random crumbles everywhere, you get individual meatballs.
We're doing that one next, right?
Yeah.
So we can really compare the flavor.
I like the flavor. It's very similar to the first one as far as the sauce goes, but the meat does add some difference to it. You don't think so? Or do you think it's basically the same?
I think the first one is a lot more tomato forward. I think you really taste the
tomatoes.
The tomatoes,
really do.
Whereas the Bolognese, there's so much more in there that it's.
I mean, you definitely get that sweet tomato flavor, but you also get, that meaty kind of flavor. I like it.
I don't mind the meat. I really don't mind the meat. I like the
Just
first
the
one.
original or the regular one?
The meat better. The Bolognese does have a lot of ground beef, like those chunks.
Yeah.
It does have those, but it's not grainy.
No, it's not really fine.
Because Kevin and I do not do grainy, like in that, what is that?
Skyline chili.
Skyline chili.
Really fine.
Oh no, can't do it.
It's really finely grained ground beef.
Yeah, this is like.
It's chunkier.
Yeah, it's chunkier. It does have more seasoning, I feel like, in that Bolognese. Much more seasoning in there than it does in the meat.
Well, when we make spaghetti, we take spaghetti sauce and we add hamburger to it. So
ground beef,
yeah. So that's very similar to it.
Yeah. So this is the Mini-Meatball, and once I poured some in this bowl, I actually got a fork and dug down in the jar, and I got more meatballs out. So I made sure that we got a bunch of meatballs in there. So this is half a cup is 80 calories, and it's tomato puree, meatballs. They're made with beef and pork. You have some words I cannot pronounce. Salt, dried onion, dried garlic, beef flavor. Okay.
Try some without the meatball first.
Okay.
Just the tomato sauce. I keep going back to just the basic.
Well, and it's not even basic. It's meat.
I know, but it's the basic meat
here.
baked sauce. Even the tomato sauce still has a little bit different flavor, but it's similar.
This is sweeter.
It's very sweet. It is much sweeter.
And that's probably why I like it so much. It's very, very sweet. And
whereas this is more savory, spicy.
This still has more tomato flavor than this one. Okay,
sure.
Did you get a meatball?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I didn't. You told me to take.
I wanted you to try the tomato sauce, but the tomato sauce by itself is not as flavorful as the one with the Bolognese. It's kind of, I don't know. It's still very sweet.
What did you think about that meatball?
It's mushy. It's one of those really mushy meatballs where they put a lot of filler in it.
I was going to use the word loose.
Yeah, I could see that. They put a lot of filler. Like most meatballs are made with like breadcrumbs or something like that to kind of make them stick together.
Right.
That one is very full of fillers.
Right. Well, yes, but it's not. Yeah. Usually when Kevin makes meatballs, they're dense and they're dense and they're heavy. These seem very, they're lighter and looser.
It seems like they put a lot more breadcrumbs than meat.
The texture for me is not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
No, it is borderline for me though. So would I rather buy, they sell frozen meatballs.
Yes.
I would rather buy the frozen meatballs and add it to regular spaghetti sauce than buy that mini meatball. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah,
how
and
do
you don't.
feel?
I agree, and you don't get as many in there either.
Right, so you do get a good amount. There are, when I went back into that jar with a fork, you do get mini meatballs.
Yeah, you do get
There's
some. It's
plenty.
just not. It's not as much as the bolognese though. It's a more meaty sauce.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
If you want a meatier sauce and you want those chunks of meat in every single bite, then you need to get the bolognese.
Yeah.
But I would rather buy those Italian meatballs out of the frozen.
And put them with like that.
And put it with that.
With that Prego. With
yeah, or regular
or the
Prego.
Yeah.
Prego's the brand I always buy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like Prego.
traditional.
Yeah, I like it.
So.
Okay, so this is the sweet sausage and roasted peppers.
Yeah, this was the one that was the reddest.
Wow, this is 110 calories for half a
Is that a
cup.
lot? I don't know.
Yes, it is, because we've had 90. I can't see that one. I think it might have been 80.
80.
This one was 70. 70 for the one that I like the most so far.
Which is very sweet.
Yes, it's 70.
I guess the peppers have a lot.
This is
of sweetness to it.
110.
Well, it's also got sausage. So.
Tomato puree, Italian sausage, green peppers.
Wow, it's quite a bit different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dried onion here, carrots, celery, onions, natural flavoring, gluten-free, 40% of daily vegetables.
I'm gonna. Here, I'll put it over.
Okay.
Once you take a bite, I'm gonna tell you what I think it reminds me
Ooh.
of. Yeah, there's big hunks of sausage in there.
Ooh, and there's pepper. It smells so good.
It's a very chunky sauce. There's lots of peppers and sausage, and there's all kinds of stuff in there.
Turn it around. I know what you're going to say that tastes like.
Your Swiss steak.
It tastes like Swiss steak.
Yeah.
That
So
is
Tammy
awesome.
makes
I love
a
that.
Swiss steak with what? Cube steak
I use cube steak,
and peppers and onions.
but you can do it with like a flat, thinner steak.
Yeah. And then what kind of? You just use tomato
I
sauce.
use
and,
tomato. Yeah, I use tomato sauce. No, I use crushed tomatoes.
crushed tomato.
I use crushed tomatoes and green pepper and onion. This.
It tastes almost identical.
Oh, I love
The
this.
seasonings are a little different in this because we don't put a lot of like extra like oreganos and all that stuff in there. You get a little bit more of that in there, but it really does remind me of that.
That's what we need to remember that.
If you poured that over your Swiss steak, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, you could.
or roast or
You
whatever.
could save yourself all. Think about all the money you could save buying the peppers and all that because that flavor.
You literally just dump that one thing over top of
That
it.
is absolutely.
Now you are adding the
delicious.
sausage to it, but
And it is a lot of
I feel like
calories.
ours. Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. It's really, really delicious. I love that.
Yeah, it's
Sweet
kinda
sausage and roasted peppers.
Yeah.
And you
That would be
do
good on
get
spaghetti,
that,
too.
the flavor of the sausage.
Yeah. That'd be good on pasta too.
Oh yeah.
All that flavor.
Oh, I think it would be delicious. We wouldn't even have to. We wouldn't even have to do our own ground beef. We would just buy that. I think that is so delicious.
It is very good.
So would we still buy, would you do that with just a box of spaghetti?
Yeah.
Or would you still buy that Kraft dinner that we buy?
No, but that wouldn't be I would buy a jar for just a box of spaghetti by itself.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so just that and the box of spaghetti and
Yeah.
that's that. Okay, so this is the Italian, that was sweet sausage.
Wow.
But it said it had, the sweet sausage, it said it had Italian sausage. So
Right.
I just want you to know that, even though it's
That
called...
is the sausage.
Right, I want you to know that for sure. Okay, this one is Italian sausage and garlic. And it's tomato puree, Italian sausage, Italian sausage seasoning, sugar, garlic, onions, spices. And this one's only 90 calories. So wonder what the difference will be here.
Well, you're missing all those peppers and stuff like that in.
Okay.
It's just the sausage. The ones with the sausage on it also have just a little bit more spice. They're not hot by any means, but they do have a little bit more of that spice you get on your tongue. It's almost like a black pepper spice.
Yeah, it's not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot.
I like that one as well.
I do too. I'm kind of missing the pepper flavor though.
Yes, the peppers. Yes, so that's what I'm thinking. I really like that bell pepper flavor that the sweet one has.
But if you're trying to save a few calories, this is definitely
Yes,
one I would use.
This one highlights the Italian sausage more.
Yep.
And then secondary is like the garlic. And the other one that we had, the sweet one, it highlights, I think, the peppers stand out more.
Yeah.
And then the meat's right under that.
As we've gone through these, I go back to the original, that first one with the meat, and it just tastes like tomatoes now at this point.
Yeah, well, it really, yeah, it does.
It's like mushed tomatoes, and that's almost it.
So if you buy the meat one, I don't think, I've eaten a lot of it. I like it.
Yep.
I really don't think it tastes like meat, though. It really just tastes like tomato.
No, like I said, it probably skews it a little bit, but that's it. I don't know.
I wonder if we're still, I'm wondering, I would like to hear your top 3, and then I'm going to give you my top 3.
Okay, let me move these over. We'll have to turn the jars around so we can see them. Well, I can tell you my last place is the Mini-Meatballs. Mini-Meatballs is my last place too. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough there to really justify.
So that's going down there.
To justify spending the money on it, you don't get enough of that meatball flavor, and they're kind of soft, like you said, kind of loose. They're just, I don't know, it's just, they're not as pleasurable to eat as the other ones are.
Honestly, it boils down to the texture of the meatballs.
Yeah.
If they had been...
And the flavor's not...
If they had been denser, and I don't want a hard meatball, nobody does, but if they had been a little bit denser, something more for me to, my teeth to grab onto, I don't want my teeth to mush through meat, so that's why. So I wouldn't buy that again. And it's funny, we went to... had to go to Jungle Jim's to get that.
We were wondering if they weren't going to quit selling this in a lot of stores.
And people commented they've got it around them.
Yeah, and we've had it at the other store, but they just didn't have it at the other ones we looked at, the closer ones. I'm just going to tell you mine, and you may disagree with me. My second to last would be just the meat.
Okay.
And then my third would probably be the Italian sausage and garlic. Mm-hmm. Then I'm debating between the Bolognese and the sweet sausage with roasted peppers. I think my number 1 is going to be the sweet sausage and roasted peppers.
That's mine. That's my favorite. That's my very
because
very
it has
favorite.
tons and tons of
sweet sausage and roasted peppers. That is my
number
1.
And Bolognese would be, I think, my number 2.
Okay, we're gonna switch some of those.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go with the sweet sausage and roasted peppers. Then I'm gonna go with the Italian sausage and roasted peppers.
Yeah, it was good.
And then I'm gonna go with the meat.
Oh, really? And,
and then I'm going to go with the Bolognese and then that one.
Yeah.
So
I like the. I think it wasn't about the flavor of the Bolognese. It was more about the texture. You get the hamburger kind of the ground beef all through it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I liked it.
Yeah. Well.
But I can agree with your order too. The only ones I'd really switch around are these two. But
I love it. I'm not, and I know this video's gone on long enough, but I'm not the biggest one for, going down the spaghetti aisle and picking something new. I'm not adventurous. I want a sure thing every time. So this was a really fun video, an enlightening video for us to do because it just showed me, oh my gosh, there's something out there that we both
really good.
Absolutely love that we hadn't tried before. So I love it when we do videos like that, and it shows both of us something. Because Kevin goes along with whatever I get. If I buy this, he'll eat anything, so really it's up to me to find the new things. So it's really nice to know that we both like that so much.
And I do like the idea of taking that and putting it over like a cube steak if you're looking for something fairly cheap. Cube steaks are pretty cheap, but if you want a higher cut of meat, you can put over a better piece of meat if you wanted to.
But you could take those...
I'm thinking you could take that and put it over a roast and put it in a crock pot.
You absolutely could. You absolutely could.
And think about all that seasoning in with your roast and stuff. That would be really nice.
But you could, if you didn't even want spaghetti, if you wanted more like the penne pasta, that would be awesome. You could make a batch
macaroni or whatever,
anything and dump that in there, and it's going to be a great meal. So I think it's delicious.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll have to let us know. Have you tried any of the Pregos with meat in them? So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.